cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. It's time again.
What up, y'all? You tuned in to the 52 Scott Podcast. Welcome to this edition of Black Friday. I'm your host, Slash, and with me I got Comedian 96, K Money, and Freddie G. Together, we the Mind of Men. Don't forget to like and subscribe, plus follow us on Twitter, 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. What's up, people? It's Black Friday. Today we want to talk about black youth in today's society. So when I say black youth in today's society, I'm basically speaking about the teenagers in the black communities, you know, the ones in school, going to school. Some of them are a little older, the ones in college as well. But I want to talk about that because I think it's very important for the black community to understand where we are with our black youth in today's society. So you got a lot of the younger generation with a different type of raising. And I would say social media is more or less apparent to these teenagers now because this is where they learn it from. You know, so most kids don't learn from their parents because they don't have a chance to talk to their parents because their parents will throw something in front of them like a tablet, you know, or you got their cell phones. Most of them don't want to be in front of their parents anyway. They're going to be on their phones, you know. So I think that that's a problem with today's youth. What they do on these social media sites is an issue. Most of the girls are twerking all day, you know, doing stuff like this. Is that a good look for the black community in 10 years, 20 years? Is that a good sign or no?
Well, the short answer to that is no, that's not a good look.
Right.
It's not a good look because, excuse me, of course, I think that black folks are always under a microscope, period.
Right.
And so when you're seeing the youth today that may be flashing guns on social media, doing certain kind of provocative dancing on social media, and you're young in age, you know,
right.
It does put us in a bad light.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a hypocrite because and just constantly get on the black youths because I was a knucklehead when I was a youth, and but social media wasn't around.
Right.
So
it's different.
You know, if social media was around, there's a good chance that I would have done some stupid stuff on social media. Right. If I'm being 100% honest. It's just that today I have different lenses. You know, I'm an older gentleman now.
Right.
And so I cringe when I see certain things from our black youth.
Right. Like the stuff that they post, you know, you can scroll through your social media page and you'll see stuff that they posting, such as, you know, people in the people in the street fighting.
Oh yeah.
So
they find that entertaining.
They find that very entertaining, and that's hard to see because that's entertaining to them.
Right.
That wasn't entertaining to us. Although if it was a fight, yeah, we would see it. Kids, and I mean much younger than these kids now, because we didn't have that. I mean, people fought, yeah, but it wasn't no camera to record this and nowhere to post this. So now you promoting violence in your own society.
Yeah.
With your own people. That's what that's doing. So that's why I feel like social media has a big influence on the youth now doing the stuff that they do because of what they being able to post. We didn't have it, so we was different, you know. And another thing I want to point out, because These kids have parents. So as a parent, do we be more investigative to what they doing? Do we watch them more? Like, do we just go in their room and see, what the hell they be doing when they not at home?
I think you have to be.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah, because now too much stuff is accessible now. You got porn. I hate to say it. Well, like you can pick up the phone and get it to it. All you gotta do is have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think it's a lot of stuff that we had, like Freddie and y'all were just saying, that we had access to that we didn't back in the day. Technology has made it that way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's hard to.
Now I'll tell you another scenario of something different from that, but same difference as far as something wrong with today's black youth and today's society. The younger guys, I mean, not trying to say that we was princes. We wasn't kings. I mean, we were kings, but I mean on a hood scale, we wasn't the best of all. We did our dirt, but the way that they do what they do is more disrespectful. We had respect back in the day for some of the things that we did that can kind of mount up to the stuff that they doing. Mm-hmm. So, but they just are more out front with it because of social media. You show everything. Anything is everything on social media.
Yeah.
So they bring that to their actual lifestyle, and they do things that they would see being done on social media that somebody just filmed or recorded just for entertainment purposes in the first place. Mm-hmm. So serious situation, real situation, something happened, and I go to a place to get gas, and it's guys outside, younger guys, 15, 16, 17, on the block, trying to, of course, peddle weed or whatever they selling at the corner store. You know how you pull up, and it's a group of them out there. So I pull up, and one of the guys, he's got a gun in his holster, and he's trying to sell the holster.
How old were they with a gun?
I don't know. I didn't see the gun like that. I mean, I know he had it on him.
No, how old were these guys?
Oh, they ended up anywhere between 15 and 18 years old.
With a gun already.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I say the youth is horrible. They got him. So anyway, he's trying to sell the holster that he have to the other guy that's outside. Obviously, he got a gun too, but I don't see his gun. Yeah. He's not showing his gun. So anyway, one of the other guys that was around was explaining to him how he didn't have a certain little thing. Now, he wasn't looking at the holster. He looking at the gun. And now he explaining to his friend whose gun it was, saying, hey, man, yours don't have that button on it. So your gun only shoot a certain type of way. It don't shoot boom, 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 boom. Your gun shoot boom, boom. So I'm saying, okay, this is what their mind frame is on. How fast somebody else's gun shoot or how fast it doesn't. This is the young guy's mentality out there.
And I bet they're talking loud to make sure.
I mean, that's why I say we was more respectful. Right. They don't have no respect.
None. They were talking loud
and they just doing what they do. So I didn't say nothing. Of course, I wasn't gonna say nothing. So I was getting gas. So you know how you got people stand in front of your car or whatever, and the way the gas station is made, if they would move, you can go.
Right.
Well, they didn't move when I started my car. So I say, you know what? I don't have time to, play no games. This wouldn't make no sense. So I backed up.
Right.
And I'm gonna go the other way, But what I'm saying is they don't have respect. There is no limit to what they're gonna do and what they're gonna show, because this is what they see through everyday life for them, which is social media.
Right.
So it's definitely going in the wrong direction. But the thing is, how do we change their outlook on what they've already seen? Or is it too late to try to change their outlook?
Well, I don't know if it's really changing their outlook. I think that we would have to go to, why are they disrespectful? what is it that's making these teens, I mean not teens, but young youth or whatever,
young adults,
what's making them disrespectful? How? Because they are our kids, right? Not
exactly
per se our actual kids, but as a whole, these youths today, those are our kids,
right?
So what's making them this way?
Exactly.
And why didn't we grow up like that? What was it for us that kept us? Although we did our dirt, it kept us with a healthy amount of respect.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Was one.
That's
We
a
was
difference.
disciplined.
Yeah, that's a difference.
When we was kids and we did something wrong, your parents was gonna get on your ass.
Yeah, and your next door neighbor could whoop you, and
Anybody
and
could
your
whoop
mama,
you.
sister,
Your
could whoop
grandmother
you.
could whoop
yeah.
you.
Because I know when I was little, if I got one whooping, I know.
You did anything wrong, you gonna get a whooping.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, one was
There is
four.
no discipline now, and I can say this with the truth because I got 2 daughters. Man, I never whooped neither one of my daughters.
Why not? If you don't mind me asking, why?
Just never felt like it was a reason to.
Understood.
You know what I mean?
So
And they wasn't bad kids. They not bad kids now. They both take care of their personal, whatever they have to do for themselves. But it's just, I never felt like I wanted to do that.
I can feel the not whipping the kid. There are other forms of discipline.
True.
Right.
And unconsciously, I think that we got the black community. Unconsciously, we got this form of discipline. We automatically think that whipping is the best form of discipline.
Yeah.
Or the go-to form of discipline. So there is other forms of discipline other than whipping, but I am in agreement with you when you say that these youth are like they are today because of discipline. Would discipline be the only thing, or is it more?
I think mentally these kids, when they get a certain age, they think that they're grown, and technically in the eyes of society they are. But they feel that they're on the same level playing field. And I think this was mentioned on another podcast that we talked about. But it's almost as if they're on the same level playing field that the parents are on.
Right.
So that's where the respect factor goes away. And again, based on how the parents, if they held them accountable early on, accountability, I think, plays an important part as well.
Yeah.
But just making sure that they don't forget that there is a respect, a level of respect,
Right.
that should never be that should never go away when you're dealing with elders. In my opinion,
That's right.
And the lack of discipline has contributed to it going away.
Yeah.
I think it started at a certain era in life with us, our generation, and then it progressively got worse. If you think about it, when we were growing up, they had an episode of Cops. Remember Cops?
Yeah.
All right, they have 35 seasons of Cops. Right? Didn't last long. Cops stopped. Okay? But what came after Cops? Y'all want to take a guess?
First 48.
The first 48.
Yeah.
Now, on Cops,
It wasn't no murders. I mean, it was, but they wasn't showing.
not often murders.
Yeah.
It was people drunk,
Yeah.
doing
Just
stupid
different
stuff.
stuff.
It wasn't
Yeah.
murders on there
Nah,
really
it
on
wasn't like
Cops.
that.
But the first 48
was
has
murders.
23 seasons and counting, and it's all murders. So we went from being drunk and disorderly
To
to
murder cases.
So
Yeah.
it progressively got worse
Yeah.
over the years,
Yeah.
and I have to bring it back to upbringing. It has,
Well, not when you say those shows, because that's a government form of bringing down the black youth community with that TV show.
Right.
I won't say that that's us doing that to us on that. No,
Right.
that's the government
But-
bringing that portion down.
Right, fair enough though. Cops had all races. It's not. I hate to say it. First 48, I'll say
Majority black.
90% are
It's all
black.
black.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can say Cops. I'll say 70-30.
Yeah.
70-30 or 65-35
Right,
or something
right.
like that. So it wasn't just because it was just people just doing stupid stuff all the way around, but not really murder that much. I didn't see that many murder episodes. It was somebody drunk driving.
I don't even think cops show
they
them
never
murder.
did.
I don't think
murder.
they ever did
No.
murder. So I think it's from the upbringing. So it's
Yeah.
from the people doing that to
So you got that
I mean,
first 48, and then
let's
you
take
got these cop shows. Well, not cop shows, but like these investigative shows where the one Ice-T in
right.
shows like that. You know,
Law and Order.
Law and Order.
right there. Yeah.
They watching this kind of stuff.
Okay,
you
so
know.
let's take it to the females, right? So that's males, because we the ones
Right.
always selling dope, getting in trouble, all that shooting, killing, whatever, right? We're gonna take it to the females. When we was younger, it was Black Beach Week, Kappa Beach Party,
Right.
Bike Week.
Right.
You might get a little shaking and jiggling here and there, somebody messing around in the bathroom. Fast forward to there. So your youngsters seeing all this on video on YouTube, but back then it was Space My. Remember Space My?
MySpace.
Well, yeah.
Space.
Glad y'all
MySpace.
caught that. 'cause
Wow.
we screwed me with that
Y'all
one.
didn't even catch it. Y'all didn't even catch it, but thank you. But yeah, so you see all the jiggling and all that, right? Fast forward to today. Now we have OnlyFans. They just go ahead and say, "Fuck it, let's go and get it."
Yeah, it's a dip. But see,
All we did was dance and show a little ass like that.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that
Yeah.
because from the females, all of that is affecting the youth in today's society.
It got worse as it progressed.
because a lot of the girls, the younger girls, they see this OnlyFans and they starting to realize, if I can sit at home and do this and make this kind of money, then what am I going to get a job for?
Right.
Yeah.
And they not dumb for feeling like that.
No.
But I'm at the same time, wow, this is what today's society is turning into.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know if we can reel them back in.
That's what I say. Is
boy.
it even able to do at this point?
That's a hard sell.
you know.
I don't even know if you can reel them back in because you can only start with your home
right.
and hope that your child goes out and maybe whoever they're mingling with, your child can kind of rub off on whoever they're mingling with. If you've done what you needed to do at
Right.
home,
That's right.
But as a community, I don't think we can reel them in because they're too far gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you saying it starts at home, and I think one way is to manage, how they're using these electronic devices that they
Right.
have access to.
Right. Right.
But do you think that so I get it. I think the managing of the electronic devices, if you're under 13, under 15, maybe. But when you're speaking of an 18-year-old, you're speaking of a 17-year-old high schooler, I mean,
If they're still living under their parents' roof, these are rules that they need to abide by, and they need to be held accountable. Point blank. I don't.
so a senior in high school.
I mean, we trying to.
You think it's just the devices that's doing it?
It's part of the problem
Because-
because the social media. They're looking for likes.
Right.
What happens when they go to school? Let's say it's a junior in high school, and they go to school.
I don't even know why phones are allowed in school. To be
In
honest with you,
schools
bro.
now.
I don't either. Yeah. What?
So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
take it back to us.
Uh-huh.
Let's take it back to us. We're no angels, right?
Right.
Right.
We didn't have phones.
We had pages.
Well, just hold on a second. I know we had pages, but we didn't. Pages wasn't associated with social media. You couldn't- So
Yeah, you're
I know
right.
they had them big dope dealing flip
Yeah, but
phones.
that
Didn't
wasn't-
nobody have that. I didn't have that.
But we didn't have phones in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Right.
I can only speak for myself. But if I was a betting man, some of y'all fall in this category too. I didn't have a cell phone, but boy, did I do a lot of mischievous things. I did a lot of stuff outside of the home and got
Right.
away with it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But you didn't go-
I think it's more than just the electronic devices.
But here's the catch. Even after you did it, you may brag to one homeboy about it. You didn't go up to a crowd of dudes at school and say, nigga, I just bop, 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 bop.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right. However.
Because you wasn't stupid enough to get
However,
caught up.
Once you brag to one person, you just told 10.
Yeah.
Depending on if you got a homeboy that's solid. And if I know you, anybody around you gonna be solid.
That old
they ain't finna tell on you. I ain't, you tell, if they tell, it's gonna be another solid individual. It won't get out. So it'll be on the street, but it's all solid.
It's so much different though from today, because
now they don't care. They just spread it, put it on the internet, kill somebody, out. put it on go
everybody
Facebook
find
Live.
out within the first 5 minutes it's posted.
So what happens when okay, let me just take it and put it all on me. I wasn't perfect, the perfect kid, but I actually had respect, and I was brought up with respect, but I brought up in the hood as well, right?
Right.
I respected my elders, but I did a lot of mischievous things and a lot of things, throwing rocks and hiding hands, right?
Right.
I had different types of crowds that groups, not crowds, but groups that I would hang with, and I was accepted in all of those groups and still being me, not pretending to be something that I wasn't.
Right.
But there were times when I was around people whose characters were in question. And so I'm around those people. And they're doing what they do. I have no control over what they do.
Right.
So, but my grandparents, who I was raised by, they didn't know I was around those type of people.
Right.
I didn't have a cell phone.
Right.
Okay.
So it was up to me and what I was taught and how I was raised.
Right.
Although I was still around it, to not go all the way with what they were doing.
Right.
But I was doing just enough to throw rocks and hide hands.
But see, just like you just said, you didn't mention no names. You didn't mention what they was doing. So it'll make you solid. See what I'm saying? Till this day, what you just told us, I don't know. We don't know, one, what you were doing, who you was with. That, to me,
it's a difference.
It's a difference between now and then, because you didn't tell me who you was dealing with or nothing. To whereas these youngsters, they gonna show you, give you the gun, they gonna give you all the evidence you need.
They doing it for likes.
Yeah, they doing it for likes.
So
it's so much different now.
Yeah,
exactly. John Morant.
Yeah, what are you doing out there
that
for?
Ball player. And he's on social media, not on more than one occasion.
Yeah,
with the gun.
With a gun.
Come on, man. How stupid is that?
Why would you do it?
Now,
months apart.
Now, we did a show on mental health. Could he have had mental health?
That ain't mental health.
That ain't, not with a big smile like that he had.
That's show off.
Yeah,
flexing, exactly.
That's flexing.
Yeah, that's what they call flexing. That's his flex. So flex on, and they gonna flex you out the mission. They gonna flex them right on out the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think that our youth, our black youth in society today, it's not really a good look. Some of them are okay, but majority of them, is kind of not so good. So do we even change it? Are we able to? It may be too late. Okay, so before we take off, we got to do this real quick. It's our black facts that you can't take back. So who I want to bring to the table, a lot of y'all may have heard of through a rap song a long time ago, Garrett Morgan. Really great inventor, invented a lot of stuff that we use now today that some people can't live without. A lot of inventions. He was born in 1877 in Paris, Kentucky. He only had an elementary school education, which is really important because he didn't have the school knowledge that you're supposed to get when you go to school, and invented stuff like the sewing machine.
Oh, nice.
And with an elementary education.
With an elementary education. The traffic signal, we use this every day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He made the traffic signal. And then later on provided the blueprint for a gas mask. If you ever worked at a plant or somewhere where you have to wear a gas mask because of the fumes that you work around, well, this is what he invented, you know. So I just wanted to give y'all a little history on Garrett Morgan. He died July 27th in 1963 in Cleveland, Ohio. But very important to the black community. So thank y'all for checking us out. Y'all make sure y'all come back. Peace. So that's going to do it for this episode of Black Friday. Hit that like button and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast. On Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. Check us out on Monday for Music Mondays. See y'all then.